What's good, everybody? This is Ryan McKee, and this is The New Perspective. This channel intention is to bring awareness and enlightenment to the unseen, tackling the real issues, breaking through mental barriers to discover, unlock, and understand your true propensity, to create passion that will spark desire to build from the inside out. Now, as you know, mental health is on the rise, whether it's through childhood trauma, toxic ways. I know when I was going through my series of depression, I didn't have anyone to support or understand or even educate me on the right way of dealing with it. And I think we as a community, we can help each other heal. And I think healing is needed in our community. And it's up to us to make a difference. So, with that being said, I hope that this channel can alleviate some of that pain. I hope that I can touch and change lives through this channel. Because at the end of the day, it should all be nothing but peace and love. So let the healing start today. Hey everybody, this is Ryan McKee from A New Perspective. Today we will be talking about disciplining yourself. Now, why is this important? This is important because when it comes to disciplining yourself, I know for me it's been a long journey in understanding and applying discipline to my life. You know, getting rid of old habits, stepping into the new and, just becoming my own. Just giving my life some type of structure. A lot of people aren't growing up with discipline and structure. So it's just a lot of things just to think about, through my journey as I learned and grew just in my adolescent years. So, even in my adulthood, I'm still learning little pieces to the puzzle. So let's get to it. When it comes to disciplining yourself, it's number one that you may find you have to find your focus. Now, without focus, you're just aimlessly spending time, energy, and attention, anywhere. You're just spreading it thin. If you have your focus on this thing, on that thing, on this, and you're not focused and holding in on one thing, it could be scattered. It could be all over the place. And a lot of times when we do that, we can find ourselves depleted. Or we can find ourselves more so in hermit or isolation mode, whereas though, we don't have energy or time for anything else because we didn't spread our energy too thin, right? So it's almost like if you have a scatter plot and you have coordinates everywhere, you'll be scattered. You'll never reach the destination. That's another way to describe it. So you have to find what you're passionate about. Everyone has a passion. Whether it's cooking, whether it's dancing, singing, find what you're passionate about. Because a lot of times, passion and desire actually go hand in hand. We'll be talking about that a little later. But everyone has a passion. Something you're passionate about will help you to, I wouldn't say help you move towards your focus, but it'll help your focus come more to life. A lot of our hobbies and stuff that we're passionate about says a lot about our focus. If it's cooking, why do we like cooking? You know what I'm saying? Is it something therapeutic about it? Is it something to give us, a little bit of structure in our life or something to do? If just little things like that. Think of how that passion makes you feel, and it'll bring you more clarity of your focus. So, sometimes your passion aligns with your purpose. Now, it's not to be confused because passion is what you like. And your purpose is your mission. So like I said, with passion and desire go hand in hand is because, and purpose as well, because your purpose give you an overall view of what you need to do in life. That, like I said, that's your mission. And with passion, a lot of times our passion gives our purpose more meaning. Can give our purpose more meaning. Not all the time. It can. You know, you have to find what keeps your passion lit. For me, it's poetry. You know, I have a passion for writing. I have a passion for, you know, just you know, I don't never really quite see myself as a poet. Kind of like, you know, just like, just, I don't know. I just feel as though it's just something where as though like I'm more of a messenger. Just like a comedian, just like a doctor or a lawyer, any profession that's out here. I think of myself more of a messenger. It's almost like we may have our purpose, right? But we may have certain gifts. And our gift is you to express messages. If you dance, you're a messenger. You know? So your passion, I'm gonna put this both together actually. Instead of just saying passion. Passion and purpose says a lot about you. You know? You know, you have to find out what are your strengths and how can you make your challenges your strengths. Now, this is important because we all know that with strength is what drives the boat, right? Now, we all have challenges. I don't like to call them weaknesses. I call them challenges. You know, how can you make your greatest weakness, how can you make your greatest challenge your greatest strength? Well, you have to find out what works for you, right? Now, we know where we're strong at. We know our strong suit. But let's say if it's like, for me, it's like, okay, one of my greatest challenges in life was my anxiety. Now, the way I made it my greatest strength is I had two things to do. I had to first find how to reduce my anxiety, and for two, you know, find a way to lean into it. Reduce and lean into it. That's how I made my anxiety my greatest strength. So whether it was performing, whether it's, you know, just speaking in front of people, had social anxiety and stuff like that, the way I did it is find ways to reduce anxiety. Singing, dancing, laughing, meditating, working out, reducing anxiety. Leaning into it, not being afraid, using that sense of anxiety as that fear, pushing through it. So when it comes to passion and purpose, you have to find a way to reduce and to lean in, wherever that challenge is. And that's how I believe the formula is to make your greatest challenge your greatest strength. You have to find a way to reduce what's causing you the anxiety or the depression, and find a way to lean into it. Find a way to lean into it until it no longer exists. It's going to be hard at first. It's not an easy thing. Trust me, it's not an easy thing at all. But you have to find a way where it don't become a burden in your life and it becomes your greatest asset. So, talk about grounding yourself in your focus. Getting rid of distractions. Anything that stop or delay you from reaching your goals is a distraction. TV, the phone, unnecessary times of sad nations. I'm not talking about taking time for yourself and just, you know, I'm talking about you just chilling. Just chilling, just not doing nothing at all. Anything like that is a distraction. So, you know, you might want to, you know, watch less TV. You want to be less in your phone. You want to be less around people. You want to be more in the nature. You want to meditate. You want to work out your body. You want to go to counseling, you know, open up more, you know, clear some of that energy. You want to do yoga. Whatever you do. Anything that stops or delays you from reaching your goals is a distraction. Alright? So, making a plan and sticking to it. Think about what you want to do. Write it down. Visualize it. Visualize it in your mind and keep it fresh. Now, a lot of people, a lot of successful people do this with vision boards, or they'll just write it down, and they do this exercise where you visualize you having it even before you even got it. Let's say, just anything, a windfall of money, if that's that's one of your whatever goals or whatever, and you visualizing you going to the bank, visualizing that you have it in your pocket already. It's the visualization and the belief, but it's also effort, not just the belief and the visualization. I don't want to, nobody quote me to make it seem like you could just think it and write it down and that's it. You gotta put in some legwork. You have to. If you really want to achieve it, you have to put in legwork. Okay? So, releasing bad habits or replacing them and pairing them with good habits. Now, we all have bad habits. Or it's smoking, drinking, whatever. Partying too much. Don't just anything. Like I said, bad habits can stop you from reaching your goals too. So it's still a distraction. So you can either release the bad habits, cold turkey, but some of us, it takes us a while to do cold turkey. Some of us, if we have an addiction or, or anything, it takes us a while to just go without it, just flatline. So you can pair them with good habits. For example, let's say something you like to do as opposed to something that you may not like to do. Let's say you like to smoke. Something you don't like to do, read. You could read while smoking. I'm not really just encouraging you do that. If that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. But you're still canceling out that bad habit. In a way you are. Because eventually, especially depending on what you're reading about, that book is going to take over your mental. That especially if you're consistent with it. Especially if, whether it's an audio book or a physical book, that book is going to take over your mental. To the point where you're going to just be like, I don't really want to smoke anymore, or I really don't have that much of a desire to smoke. And then it will slowly begin to cut down. It might be 3 cigarettes during a reading session. Cut it down to 1. To the point where you're like, I don't even need to smoke. Like, I can just read. It happens like that. Don't always think that, especially with bad habits or distraction, that you just have to go cold turkey and just let them go. Because it's just like some things you build that attachment. When you build that attachment to a certain thing, it's hard to let it go. But once you reduce it, it'll be easier. So don't beat yourself up about it if you have bad habits and distraction. We all do. Just find your way of dealing with them, whether release them at a whole or release them by pairing them with good habits. Understanding your short and long term goals. And you gotta ask yourself, are they SMART goals? Are they specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely? Now, don't really need to explain that too much. If it's specific, it's to the point, it's detail oriented, have great description of what you want to do. Measurable, is it in a time frame? Is it can you really measurable and achievable? Can you achieve it? And that with you have, can you put that effort in, and then can you achieve it in the amount of time that you set on doing it? And that goes with as well as timely and relevant. And if it's relevant to your purpose or your passion, does it make you does it give you fuel and drive to what you're trying to do? And why you gotta figure out why are you trying to do it? So you have to make your goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Okay. That's another thing we just talk about. Does it align with your passion or your purpose? Some goals are personal. Some are, personal, purpose driven. So you have to understand the difference between it being personal and purpose driven. When it's personal, it might be like, I want 100K by such and such time. That's a personal goal. Now, when it's purpose driven, it might be like, I want to achieve world peace. That might be part of your mission. But it's a long, drawn out goal on how you going to do it and stuff like that. Your baby steps into it. Right? So, some goals are also ego driven and some are soul driven. Kind of what we just talked about. A lot of stuff that we may go through in life or achieve in life are ego driven. You have to understand the way ego and soul works. Ego is not boastful, and then your soul was geared toward the love of it. So you have to understand why you're doing certain things with your short and long term goals, and you have to write out a plan to achieve these goals as well. So, do you approach it with faith or fear and scarcity? Well, I tell you this. If you face anything with fear and scarcity, you're not going to achieve it. You're not going to achieve it. And it's funny because you may not even understand of how you might be approaching it with faith or scarcity. Any form of doubt, fear. Anytime you tell yourself that you can't do it, or it's a little bit that you may not be able to achieve it, fear, scarcity. And anytime you feel as though you don't have enough to do it, that's scarcity. So you want to put in the legwork, and you want to put in the belief, and then put in the effort, and just be like, you know what, it's going to happen. That's faith. So, you can't have both and then think it's going to happen and say, oh, I don't know why it's going to happen. Now, it's an easier said than done situation. So, just take your time with it. Faith and optimism go hand in hand. You don't want to, like we just talked about, you don't want to manifest out of fear or scarcity. Because now, let's say if you get it in that mindset, it ain't going to last. It's not going to stay long because you didn't put that energy of faith into it. You just did it in, with fear and scarcity in your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be as fulfilling or as abundant as you think it is. You don't want one obstacle to develop your plans. That's another fear and scarcity. One little thing, oh man, I knew this was going to happen, whatever. You done already doubted yourself before you even got there. So that rules out faith right there, because that's not part of it. You have to find a way to believe that it's just going to happen, and with effort, and with time. Sometimes we may not, we might want things to happen a little faster, a little sooner, but certain things must happen before these things could come into pass. You just can't just think that things just gonna happen like that. It all depends. It all depends on how you how you get there and what you learn. So this is my segment on discipline, gaining focus, and going through just trials and tribulation, and just understanding just certain things, just about just going forward, and just going off of faith and effort and belief, and just having that drive to continue out to reach your goals. I know a lot of this is very important for a lot of people, especially for me, being, how I grew up in what I'm learning now and how I'm learning as well. Discipline is a big thing, and so I just hope you guys got this message, and I hope you guys apply these things as well. I had to learn and apply them, later on in my life. But hey, everything's a process, and if you keep going and you put faith and effort into it, you'll make progress. So this is my segment on discipline. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, love, peace, and harmony. Hey everybody, this is Ryan McKee from A New Perspective. If you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe. Share, tell a friend, and tell a friend. I'm going to be dropping episodes every Monday between 7 and 8 p.m. So, stay tuned. Also, follow me on Facebook as Ryan Accomplice McKee. And you can follow me on Instagram at ace_McKee. Once again, I'm going to be dropping episodes every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. So like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend, and share. Love, peace, and harmony, y'all.